Stephen Joseph "Steve" Scalise is the current United States House of Representatives Majority Whip and Representative for Louisiana's 1st Congressional District, serving since 2008. He is a member of the Republican Party and the chairman of the 170-member conservative House Republican Study Committee. Prior to his congressional tenure, Scalise served for 4 months in the Louisiana State Senate and 12 years in the Louisiana House of Representatives. On June 19, 2014, Scalise was elected by his Republican colleagues to serve as Majority Whip of the United States House of Representatives. He assumed office on August 1. He is the first Louisianan in the Majority Whip's position since Democrat Hale Boggs of Louisiana's 2nd Congressional District held a position from 1962 to 1971. Early life: Scalise was born in New Orleans, one of 3 children of Alfred Joseph Scalise, a real estate broker who died on October 8, 2015 at the age of 77, and the former Carol Scalise. His siblings are Glenn and Tara Scalise. Scalise graduated from Archbishop Rummel High School in Metairie in Jefferson Parish and earned a Bachelor of Science degree from Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, with a major in computer programming and a minor in political science. At Louisiana State University, Scalise was a member of the Acacia fraternity. Louisiana Legislature: after Republican State Representative Quentin D. Dustuque made an unsuccessful bid for governor of Louisiana in the 1995 Republican primary, Scalise was recruited by state Republicans to run for his seat in the Louisiana House of Representatives, which he did, winning election to it in 1995. Scalise was re-elected to the seat in 1995 and 1999, serving until 2003. His legislative peers named him to the House Appropriations Committee as the representative of the 1st Congressional District. Scalise opposed the 2002 Stelly Plan, a proposal by Lake Charles Representative Vic Stelly, since repealed, to reduce certain state sales taxes on food for home consumption and utilities in exchange for higher state income taxes. Scalise was elected in the October 20, 2007, nonpartisan blanket primary to the District 9 seat in the Louisiana Senate vacated by the term-limited Ken Hollis of Metairie. Scalise received 19,154 votes in a 3-way contest. Fellow Republican Polly Thomas polled 8,948 votes. A Democrat, David Gerati, polled 3,154 votes in the heavily Republican-oriented district. Scalise was succeeded in the State House by his aide, Cameron Henry of Metairie. In the special election on November 4, 2008 to fill the remaining 3.5 years in Scalise's state Senate term, Conrad Apple defeated Polly Thomas, 21,853 to 20,065. Thomas had also lost the race for the seat in 2007 to Scalise. U.S. House of Representatives: on being asked by the New Orleans Times-Picayune to assign Democrat Barack Obama a letter grade for Obama's first 100 days as president, Scalise awarded the new president an L. Committee assignments: Committee on Energy and Commerce, Subcommittee on Communications and Technology, Subcommittee on Energy and Power, Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations. Legislative history: in 2011, Scalise became a co-sponsor of Bill H.R. 3261, otherwise known as the Stop Online Piracy Act. As chairman of the Republican Study Committee, Scalise dismissed Derek Kenner, a committee staffer, in December 2012 because of pressure from content industry lobbyists after the study committee published a memo advocating copyright reform. In 2013, Scalise voted against reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act. Also in 2013, Scalise sponsored a bill called the Fcc Consolidated Reporting Act. The bill makes the Federal Communications Commission consolidate several of their reports into one report. Leadership race: in the aftermath of Representative Eric Cantor's unexpected defeat by David Brat on June 10, 2014, Scalise launched a campaign to replace Representative Kevin McCarthy in the position of Majority Whip of the House. McCarthy himself would replace Cantor as House Majority Leader. Scalise's ascent to leadership built on his come-from-behind win in 2012 to become chairman of the Republican Study Committee. Scalise subsequently won a three-way race for whip, winning on the first ballot despite the efforts of fellow candidates Peter Roskam and Marlin Stutzman. He came under fire for using the assistance of a federal lobbyist, John Fiat-Heery, when hiring staff for the Majority Leader's press office. Since becoming Majority Whip, Scalise has delivered several public defeats for the GOP on immigration, abortion, and education policy. Political campaigns. 2008 special election. In 2004, Scalise announced that he would run for the U.S. House but thereafter deferred to the preference of party leaders and supported Jindal, who won the position vacated by the successful U.S. senatorial candidate, David Vitter. In 2007, when Jindal was elected to the governorship of Louisiana, Scalise announced his intentions to seek the seat yet again. This time he received Republican Party backing. Scalise's strongest Republican primary opponent, State Representative Timothy G. Tim Burns from Mandeville in St. Tammany Parish, accused Scalise of push polling, a practice in which a campaign contacts voters by telephone and asks probing questions which leave a negative impression of his opponent. Scalise defended his poll from criticism by Burns. "We were running a public opinion survey this week conducted by the largest Republican polling firm in the country, Public Opinions Strategies, conducted with a sample of 300 people, and it shows Scalise at 57%, Burns at 26% and undecided at 17%. The margin of error is 5.6%. We ran a fact-based public opinion survey, not a push poll." In the March 8, 2008, Republican primary, Scalise polled 16,799 votes. He went on to win the runoff election on April 5 against Burns, who received 9,631 votes in the initial primary. In the May 3 general election, Scalise received 33,867 votes to Democrat Gilda Reed's 10,142 ballots. Two minor candidates polled the remaining 2.36% of the vote. Reed was a favorite of organized labor and the Democratic constituency groups. The 1st District has been Republican since 1977, when Bob Livingston won a special election. Scalise was sworn in on May 7, 2008. 2008 In the regularly scheduled election, Scalise was re-elected over Democrat Jim Hullen, 66% to 34%. 2010 Scalise defeated the Democratic nominee, Myron Katz, and an independent, Arden Wells, in his 2010 bid for re-election. 2012 In June 2009, Scalise joined Dan Kyle, the former legislative auditor and the treasurer of the Louisiana GOP, as directors of a national presidential fundraising effort promoting Governor Jindal. According to Kyle, the group hoped to raise $60 million to persuade Jindal to seek the 2012 party nomination. Others on the committee include former State Representative Woody Jenkins. Former Republican State Senator Tom Stidler of Slidell had his name removed from the group, not because he opposes Jindal but because such fundraising activity could conflict with Stidler's role at the time as first assistant to Louisiana Secretary of State J. Dardenne. In 2010, Stidler succeeded Dardenne as Secretary of State. In his own 2012 congressional race, Scalise prevailed with 193,490 votes over four opponents, the strongest of which was the Democrat M.V. Vinnie Mendoza, who finished with 61,979 votes. A second Republican, Gary King, received 24,838 votes. Independent Arden Wells ran again and received 4,285 votes in his second race against Scalise. European American Unity and Rights Organization speech. In 2014, political blogger Lamar White, Jr. uncovered anonymous comments from 2002 on the white supremacist website Stormfront that referenced a speech Scalise had given, from which he concluded Scalise addressed the European American Unity and Rights Organization, a group founded by David Duke. White posted his findings on his blog and soon after the media took note. Scalise said that he had spoken at the conference in 2002 and stated that he did not know of the racist nature of the group. Various Louisiana politicians, including Republican Governor Bobby Jindal and Democratic Congressman Cedric Richmond, defended Scalise's character. Speaker of the House John Boehner voiced his continued confidence in Scalise as Majority Whip. Several Democratic members of Congress, as well as Moelle Ivey, a spokesperson for the Democratic National Committee, criticized Scalise, and challenged his statement that he was not aware of the group's affiliation with racism and anti-Semitism. Mark Potok of the Southern Poverty Law Center called upon Scalise to step down from his leadership position as Majority Whip. According to John Hayward at Human Events, the story of Scalise's speaking engagement in 2002 was either dubiously sourced, a mistake, or an outright hoax. On December 29, Niels Lesniewski of Roll Call reprinted an article that had been run in 1999, after Congressman Bob Livingston had resigned from Congress. Duke and Scalise were considering running for his seat, and they and others were interviewed for the piece. When asked about a potential bid for Congress by Duke, Scalise had told the newspaper that he held many of the same conservative views as Duke, but was a more electable candidate, saying that Duke's novelty had worn off. Duke called Scalise a sellout for apologizing for speaking to the group and said that he might run against him in the 2016 elections because Scalise had been elected on false pretenses, and had betrayed the voters by suggesting that they're racist because they supported my views. Personal life: he is a member of the American-Italian Renaissance Foundation. He married the former Jennifer Ann Lechuel on September 4, 2005. The couple has 2 children. References. External links. Congressman Steve Scalise official U.S. House site, Steve Scalise for Congress, Steve Scalise at DMOZ, appearances on C-SPAN. Biography at the Biographical Directory of the United States Congress, profile at Project Vote Smart, financial information at the Federal Election Commission, legislation sponsored at the Library of Congress.